So I'm here at a super secret spot that nobody out there will ever possibly be able to identify using this film. I'm sure you all heard this before. It's from the Bible. So the Bible said, there will be fish and there will be rumors of fish. Well, I heard a rumor from my friend Betty that there were fish down here. She said she saw a whole bunch of bass. So I came over here a little bit earlier. And all I saw was bass. And we must have counted 10 of them. So they're just little guys. They're bass. They actually appeared to be largemouth bass. And that's what she told me she saw. Well, by golly, I'm gonna try. I cast one time and I just had about 8 hits. So they're all very tiny little fish. I don't know if you can see them, but I got one on the first cast. And there he is. I caught a smallmouth bass. I caught a smallmouth bass, a little tiny little smallmouth bass. Let's get you out of there, buddy. Uninjured if possible. First cast, first fish. Here they come. Oh, ooh. Got about 4 strikes on my first cast, maybe 5 or 6. And I just had a strike on the second cast. Caught a fish on that first cast. Okay, let's see what this water looks like. There's not a lot of water here. Doesn't matter though, does it? Here they come, here they come. Whoa, bum, bam, bing, bang, bong. I'm gonna move on down there where we saw the big ones. The big ones are right down there where the water gets just a little deeper, but I'm not gonna waste this opportunity here. I'm gonna see what's in here. There's another little fish. And once again, it's the world's tiniest little smallmouth bass. They're so cute. They're so pretty. Bye-bye fishing. Oop. Come on, come on, come on, get back in the water. There you go. That's really something. 2 fish and 3 casts. They must be really hungry because they're going nuts. And there's another one. He was on, he got off. Another smallmouth bass. So I think probably on this cast, there must have been 6 fish try to take it. Okay, fewer that time. Beautiful down here. There was a hit. There was a fish. There's a fish. Oh, I got another one. Number 3 already. Every one of these is a smallmouth bass. Little tiny one. We saw some nice big ones. I'm sure when we came down here, we spooked them and they moved on down a little further. So I'm going to very quietly move over there, little by little, and I'm going to find those fishies. It's going to start raining any second. We're in the middle of a long stretch of rain, originally predicted to be about a 29-hour period of rain. It's not been quite so much, but there's been enough of it. There they go, second hit. 2 fish came up at it. Every single cast. They're trapped in here. Also see a lot of crayfish. Which would mean that that is an excellent... Oh, there's a nice one. Number 4. This is Fishing Creek. Somewhere near Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania. Somewhere near Columbia County, near Pennsylvania. That was a nice little fishy. Did you see that fish I caught? That was a nice one. If you're curious, I was going to use a trout magnet and I didn't have them in my box. I have some of them in there, but someone else is using the one I found. And I am having to use a little inline spinner. Tiny little inline spinner. It's tiny. How small that hook is. But I believe that almost anything would work here. I wish I had brought my boots because I would like to cross and fish from over there. There's a rocky bank over there, and over here all we have is this big wall. Oh, the nice fish just followed me right up here. Come on, buddy. Come on. I'm coming back for you. There we are. There's the food. There's the food. Take it. Oh. There. Oh, I had one and it got away. Oh, there's one. Oh, he let it go. You devil, you. That's 2 in a row that did that to me. Oh, I caught a nice big fish. Oh, he let go. That was a big one. Oh, I got number 6. Could be number 5. There's a big one right out in front of us. These are all beautiful little baby smallmouth bass. These will move down into the river someday. Or they might stay in the creek. But we know they'll get big because we catch a lot of big ones here. In different parts of Fishing Creek. Oh, the nice fish just followed me right up here. Come on, buddy. Come on. I'm coming back for you. There we are. There's the food. There's the food. Take it. Oh. There. Oh, I had one and it got away. Oh, there's one. Oh, he let it go. You devil, you. That's 2 in a row that did that to me. Oh, I caught a nice big fish. Oh, he let go. That was a big one. He is. Oh, great big fish just keeps coming out. That's where he keeps hitting it right there. Oh, man, I got to get over there and catch him. Perfect. There he is. Oh, I knew I could catch a nice one. That's a nice fish. A mamma mia. He's been in there the whole time. Come on, fishy, fishy, fishy. These are the ones we saw from up on the road. We saw a bunch of these. There must have been 10 of them. But they spook really easy. So they would have run off real quick. Isn't that a beautiful fish? Look at that beautiful fish. Look, Di. Beautiful fish. I think that big fish hit my lure 3 or 4 times before I finally caught him. A huge fish jumped just downstream from where I was fishing. I'm going to get him. I don't know how I'm getting in here. But I'm going to find a way. This is a great spot because I have lots of really good access. I put my pole down so that I have use of all 4 limbs. And then my pole will be down there when I get there. Just set it down a little bit ahead of me. I don't want to get hurt. I want this fish, but I don't want to get hurt getting him. I'm hanging on the limbs, or I'd be sliding down here right now. Got a little mud on my butt, but this too shall pass. I sometimes have extra clothes in my car in case I get too wet or too muddy. But that's not the case at this time. There's a place where nobody's disturbed it. None of this water has been disturbed. The fishies hit the lure, turn it sideways, and then it gets tangled. They keep tangling my line up for me. They're just little guys. There's one. Is he on? He's on the line. Yeah, I got him. All right, that's number 7, I guess. Every single one of these fish are little baby bass that were caught in here when the water started getting low. And they'll be fine here. They will have an opportunity to grow and become big, beautiful fish. Bye-bye, fishy. I'm using a Eagle Claw, old Eagle Claw, ultralight. It's called a Black Eagle, but over here it says Eagle Claw. It's a 5-foot spinning rod. I don't even know what action it is. It says it is a fishing rod. And I'm using my ultralight Fluger reel that I bought only recently. It makes catching small fish big fun. So we were looking at a home that's for sale on Crawford Road in Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania. Anybody know the place? Nice property, 3 acres, 2.33 acres. House needs a bunch of work, but it's got good bones, really good bones. I don't know if I should buy it or not. So it's Sunday. It looks like it might rain. It's not supposed to. I'm watching the Weather Channel, which I watch faithfully every day. That's what you do when you're a fisherman or an outdoorsman of any kind. And I'm going to go fishing if it doesn't rain. Let's see what the pretty girl on the TV says. But I'm going to tell you what we did yesterday. This is the trout magnet. It's a tiny little thing. It has a plastic jig on it with a split tail. And it comes in a bunch of colors. This is the one that's kind of clear. The hooks are very lightweight jigs. Got a little tiny head on there that weighs very little. This is for fishing tiny fish in tiny waters. Never actually used one for a trout. I don't know that I ever will. I have my ways. But it comes in this color and this sparkly gold one. And it comes this orange yellow, which has been the most effective for me. I think the color just attracts them. And this is a pink one. And we were using the pink one yesterday. I only had one with me. Or so I thought. I actually found another one in my gear a few minutes ago. but I couldn't find them when we were out there. And then the other variety is this black one. Comes in black, split tail, little plastic jig. And this bug, it looks like a miniature hellgrammite. I would expect this to be very effective. They catch a lot of fish. The other lure we were using, I was using this inline spinner. It's called an inline spinner because it's just a line with some little beads of different sizes of plastic body and then a treble hook at the end that's sort of camouflaged and enhanced with this hair. This colored hair, this dyed hair, makes it look like it's swimming in the water. This thing spins around the shaft and catches the fish's attention. That's a little tiny one. Look how small that hook is. Now here's a big one. It's the same idea. Now, this one doesn't have any hair on it. It's a weedless treble hook. It's got these little wires here to keep it weedless. And that's a big one. They come in all sizes. Here's one with a very heavy body. This is made by Blue Fox. It has a heavy body. And that's for casting away. You see how much bigger that hook is? I use these for trout. I use the big ones for trout. Here's another really big spinnerbait. It's an inline spinnerbait, but it has just the single hook. You can hang a piece of pork or something attractive on there. You could put a big minnow on that hook. Look at the size of that hook. That is big. And this one is missing its blade. I'm going to find a blade among my collection. I'm going to put a blade on here. It should have a blade just like this does, but a much bigger one. This is one that's shaped like a little fishy head with an eyeball. Look at all the sparklies that are incorporated into the hair tail there around that hook. Again, it's a lot bigger, and it's a rooster tail. It's an excellent trout spinner when the trout are feeding voraciously. Here's another pretty good size one. Looks like a fish. It's a Blue Fox. And they're just pretty. That's why fish go after them. That's that kind of inline spinner, as opposed to a regular spinner. A regular spinner has this wire that separates the fishy and the hook and the skirt from the blade. So it's swimming through like this. This blade is spinning, getting the attention. When they go to bite it, they get caught. That's a little one. And there's a much bigger one. These I think of as bass lures. And I suppose you could catch something else on it. Now here I have these giant spinners. These inline spinners are for striped bass, muskie, northern pike, any kind of large fish, and for sure a walleye. I have caught walleyes with this. This is a striper killer, and a big spoon is always good for a striper. This is another striper killer in the form of an inline spinner with the fur, and that other one's a spoon. This is a spoon here. When you put the blade on like this, it's a spinner blade. And this is just a giant version of the same thing. And here's yet another one in yellow. And here's another one with these big brass beads. Anything that's shiny or colorful or bright is likely to get the attention of a fish that's got a great big head on it. And this one here has a metal rod for a leader. You can see that I've used it. This big fish head causes it to go really deep in the water. So this is very effective when you're trolling. You drag this behind the boat, and it's going to go very deep. And I plan on using that guy right there on my trip to... I'm going on a trip to Raystown Lake where they got big stripers. So these are the kind of lures that are available. I forgot to mention that I do have, and they were at home, not at the creek where I needed, an ample supply of these jig heads for the trout magnets. They're in silver and they're in gold. And it only matters that they be very, very shiny. The rod I was using is a pretty stiff rod. Now this would be called a faster rod. It's medium I'd say it's medium fast. It's 5'6" long. It's my eagle claw that I talked about in the video. And this is my kind of new Fluger ultralight spinning reel. And you'll hear people talk, well, this reel is 5.2 to 1. That means that if I turn this thing once, turn the handle once, this will have spun around 5.2 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.2. There it is. And that just tells you the speed of the reel. This is my other ultralight rig. It's a cheapo I bought at Walmart. It's a Shimano combo kit. It's also 5'6" long, or 5'6". And this has a much faster, you see how that bends there? Not fast. This is a much slower speed of rod. That is to say that when you pull this thing in, it's drawing the line slower. It's harder to sink the hook with that, but sometimes that's really what you need. Now, this business of fishing for tiny fish in tiny creeks, it's really a whole lot of fun. It's not something I've done a lot of, and I haven't done it much for many years. A little bit that I did. And my brother moved here. My brother David moved here from California, and this is what he loves to do. So now I'm buying trout magnets, a little tiny miniature spinner baits, and doing all that sort of thing. Going to places that I never went to. If you look at my older video, it's about a month and a half old, 2 months old. It's one that I talked a little bit about kind of fishing I like to do in the history of my fishing experience. You'll see that I do enjoy fishing deep in the ocean, fishing on ocean shores, fishing from boats and big lakes, and I do like to fish for big fish. But this has really gotten to be a fun thing. And if you look on YouTube, you'll see that it's a very popular genre. It would take you the rest of your life to see all the videos that are on YouTube that are focused on fishing for small fish in tiny creeks. When you catch a nice fish in a tiny creek, that's really something special. Now, when you fish these little creeks and ponds and stuff, you come across a whole lot of weeds. So you have to do something to accommodate. This machete is to get the weeds out of the way. And I've had some problems. I'm going to start carrying this thing with me so that I don't have to deal with that anymore.